Welcome to kcheebplays, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Let's get started. Hi, this is Future Cheeb. I recorded the footage for episode 2 and then came up with a great idea. I guess reflection is a good motivator. At any rate, I initially thought I could do a reasonable job of freewheeling the story, come up with a loose set of things that I wanted to cover or talk about, and sort of weave it in as I was talking about what I was doing. Yeah, not so good at that. So, at any rate, I didn't want to re-record all of episode 2 again. So, what I'll be doing in the future from episode 3 on will be setting this a story up. It's a paragraph or so, minute and a half kind of thing of Kalinka, Christoph, and Uliov, their interactions, where they think they should be going, maybe throwing a little bit of spice. Who knows? At any rate, that's the way it's going to work. So this one might seem a little bit disjointed story-wise, but it is what it is. Hope you enjoy. Hi, my name's kcheeb, or Cheap. Welcome to episode 2 of Trimagnata on the Fjordland map. We left off. We were just did a tour of the map and at Kailinka's lumber area, and the trio has always had plans or ideas to be self-sufficient in all the resources and products that can be produced. With that in mind, as was noted earlier, we've got two very large sources of oil here and a fair amount of steel here. I'm going to make use of those, and our chemical plant as well. We're looking at planning out a plastics and mechanical factories, two natural fits, and thinking that right up in this area here is going to be a good place to make that happen. We've got the rail line that's going to end up going out here and eventually crossing over. But this would be a good spot, I think. I want to kind of reserve this area for potentially another farm. I'm not 100% sure how much more crops we're going to need down here for our for our fabric factories, but we'll build that farm if and when we need it. The Lubno ore carrier is chugging along. It's gonna, we're down to 126,000 work days. We've got a pretty full roster of people coming in to build it. So hopefully that keeps rolling the way it's going now, and we can start doing our exports by ship, and as was mentioned earlier, make real money. At any rate, gonna have to try to plan this area out. Probably a good place to start is to look at getting the rail over there and seeing where we can fit these two factories and the accompanying warehouses in. Okay, let's get on with it. Don't need this turnaround for anything over there now, so we can remove this. And it's getting all funky on me, so we'll just go like that. There we go. So I like to build my electric railways by building the concrete-based ones first, and then electrifying it after. The difference in the speed of construction is fairly astounding. I really didn't believe that was going to be the case, but once I started trying it, it was instead of my rails being built last, the rails ended up being the first things finished whenever I went into new areas. So really is makes a difference. So we'll extend this out. And one thing that I've picked up from watching a lot of Hamuta's videos is nodes. Get rid of the nodes because they just get in the way. You don't really need them. They can cause issues, not really issues necessarily, but slowdowns sometimes in production, and the travel is governed by the node. So there we got that planned. 2 factories. So first one being mechanical components. It's down in advanced industry and right here, and I'm thinking I'm going with one of these two. The vanilla one is 17 tons storage and 15 per day, 7.5. I think this is Rob's mod. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's because of the logo that's right there. That's what's telling me it's Rob's. Could be wrong. Correct me if I am. But I'd like to have, a fair amount of mechanical components for use and for export. This would probably fit that bill, but most of everything that the Trimagnata's going for has been bigger is always better, so we're going to stick with that. Rail connection, it's nice for being able to drop off and pick up materials, the rest of it. This may be a couple of runs at it, so bear with me. I'm going to try to make this as so Leaky likes to say, feng shui as possible. Where's my road connection? It's in behind. I'm going to rotate this around. I think we need to have that coming this way. Plenty of factory connections, so we should be able to get the needed warehouses in the places that we want them to be, so we'll give that a shot. Oh, something else that I wanted to pass along. When I'm planning areas out, I don't normally have the play on. Makes me nervous. And now that I see a message here, unemployment too high, I best go check that out. And we're only at 6% overall, but we'll go see what's going on. Oh, our new city of Kiamnov is not enough people. We have probably too many people and 99 citizens without a job. Let's check out some of these areas. Okay, there's only 10. There's nobody really visiting right now. We've got lots and lots and lots of babies. We've still got some capacity here, so it's not really necessary to move that up at this point. Just to people like their sports. Police station. Yeah, we're about half. Yeah, not quite three quarters of the way there with people. Probably not going to hurt, given the fact that we've got 4% unexamined cases. So I'm going to max that out. Any other employment opportunities that we can max on or move up on? 15 secret police. Love them, hate them. They're part of the game. Helps you keep citizens happy and things moving the way you want them to move. I'll move that up. Give it a shot and see what happens. It's probably not going to take care of the 99 workers without a job, but it's certainly going to alleviate some of the issues. Our department store running full out. That's good. Something that I typically do. This building not anywhere near max with the 10 people that we've got working there. So I think at this point, until we get some more trains running down to fabric, clothing, and shipbuilding area, it's just going to be what it is. Unemployment isn't too high, and we always have workers available, so we're just going to run with that and get back to some more planning. So here we are, mechanical components, plastics factories, that's in fossil fuels, and really don't need to use too many of them, but again, the Trimagnata theme is bigger is always better. 6.6 for the vanilla one, and 4.9 for this one, and Rob's is 22 tons. I think Rob's wins out with our theme. And again, we're going to try to line things up so that we need to drop off. Oops, excuse me. Wow. UI is hard. We need oil and chemicals, so we're going to need a couple of storages. I mean, there's 10 tons, but I'm planning on using trains to bring that in. So if we've got a warehouse and a fuel storage, we can just keep topping up. I think that's probably the best way to go. So I got to keep that in mind when I'm doing this. And of course, we're going to need our rail connection, our ability to get a train in, so that we can get the materials when we need them. I just hit T there to flip the building around so that I can get the roads on the right side and easily connect them up. Oil's on this side, and yeah, I think we're should work out okay. We don't want to cramp them too hard, but we need to have them in some proximity because we're going to be dropping workers off by train. So we'll get this leveled out. So we can place it, and there we go there. Okay. Now, mechanical components. The only thing we need for mechanical components is steel. Not a huge internal storage, 40 tons of steel. I'd like to put an open storage in, so we'll have a quick look and see what we've got for storages. Should be a pretty fair number of buildings that we can use. Always like Rob's is 400 tons of steel. That's a good amount. If this has a train connection on it, no, it doesn't. Would have used that 700 tons, probably a little over the top. And again, no train connection. No train connections. Rob's, what are you doing to me? Again, if I'm wrong about that being Rob's, please let me know. 2,500 tons of steel, really not necessary, but it's okay. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? This is hard. Why is this so hard? 1,800 tons. Could always use a loading, unloading. I don't know that that's going to be necessary because the only other thing we're going to need to drop off. Sorry about that. A little interruption, no big deal. Could use like I was trying to say, a train, but unloading station. But again, I think steel is going to be the only thing that we need to drop off there. So seems a little bit overkill for just one. Just need fuel. What do we need? Yeah, we just need chemicals. And so I mean, I suppose we could drop off the chemicals and the steel at the same station. That could work out okay. See how that works, and maybe possibly even share warehouses. Possibilities. We'll see where we land here. Okay, let's go back to our storages. About storages. So, yeah, the open. Yeah, no, it's not gonna. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. Storage is not quite so much sharing chemicals and steel. Two completely different types of storage. My issue. not yours. And again, I kind of like this 700-ton size. That's going to be connected right over here, potentially. And then we're blocking our road if I do that. This game, I tell you, sometimes I think what I need to do, if I do this, I'll try that. Get rid of our plastics factory and see if I can use the magic T button to get things on the side that we want them on. This gives us some space and can probably squeeze the rail between for pickup and drop off probably. Maybe run it straight through even. We'll give ourselves a little bit more space. Might be able to run a bypass. We'll see what I'm yammering on about in a minute. Get this land all flattened out and get it placed and then see where we go. Right, back to storages. And we're not going to need, like I said, we're not going to need a huge amount of chemicals, but we want to have a reasonable amount on hand. We don't want to be 210 might seem a little high, I'm not sure, but nice thing here is it's Rob's and it'll match up quite nicely. So if I get these two square, go this direction with it. Actually, if I tee that, might be a little bit better just from a road perspective. Connections next. Get this connected up, and then we're going to need a rail cargo train station. This, no, we'll need two-sided. I believe it's this one. Yeah, single, and two sides. And pressing the R key here, by the way, and this will work for dropping off these two materials, but we're looking at a situation where I'm not going to be able to run a bypass through here because we've got the two factory connections that are blocking it. So we either run through the cargo train station to get to our pickup for our finished materials, or we try to build these so that the finished materials are created on this side of the buildings. I'm not sure that's going to be possible, but we can give it a try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and try something else. So open storage for steel and believe, no, it's a warehouse that we'd need to set up for this, for our mechanical components. 1250, that's a little high. 1250. Let's go into the Rob's world again. 200 tons. 350. That looks like a decent number. Tee this, rotate it around, and yeah, I can see that this isn't going to work with a connection to our factory or cargo train station. And I really don't think that using our forklifts to run stuff around is going to be a good idea. So I may end up deleting all of this and starting over again with keeping the placement of things and all that in mind for drop off and pickup. How do we deal with that? This is our supply side. Well, you know, you can always try running it straight through. Might not be the end of the world. We build this on our excuse me, finished goods storage on this side. They can share. Again, we're going to have the same issue we had on this side, where we're going to have the two factory connections. So don't mind me while I think this through and try to come up with a reasonable solution. How many trains am I going to get in here? So how many is going to be coming to pick up materials? There's going to be initially stuff for export and stuff for distribution for our construction office yards, and the plastics at this point are only going to be supplied to our shipbuilding, so may not be that big a deal to manage that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go check and see where we're at with some of the other building that's been happening here. Okay, our road's done, and need to get a small clinic because there's some people that are just not quite getting enough coverage for hospital. That's right there, I believe. It's not doing too bad, but I know I got some complaints earlier about people. Yeah, there we are right there. Couldn't visit the hospital, so I decided to build a small clinic here. We'll get that going right now and carry on. See, there's more residences here, another kindergarten that's going to be built, and another train station. The idea there is that we're splitting our traffic up here and giving them lots of room so that they can get pick up lots of people. Have you know, this group here primarily going there and supplying our newly laid out plastic and mechanical good factories. Not liking that right now. I'm gonna have to give that a little bit of a think, but looks like we have our clothing factory on side, and how many people are working here? Yeah, beautiful. Got quite a full shift going, plenty of fabric going on in here. This is our drop off for our crops and our chemicals, so that's good news. Lots getting created. I'm gonna have to figure out our clothes, what we're doing with that. We're gonna be storing it here, which means I gotta get a bunch of other things built as well. This is for export of fabrics once that comes to fruition, and gotta finish this area off. Gonna try to see if we can. I don't think we can truck anything anywhere, so this is gonna be pretty much running full tilt, and then hitting in the wall for the 7.5 tons of export that they have there. I mean, I suppose I could, in the meantime, build a route to take from here and drop off here. That would take one of the cities out of the equation. Probably not a bad idea, but pretty short term. So yeah, I think I'll just continue on. We're not really hurting for funds, materials that Kailinka, Christoph, and Uliov managed to get to the border is put us in a very good financial position. So we can pretty much do what we want now. Building. Oh, good. Looks like we're going to town here. Plenty of workers, and yeah. Limit our amount. Close. Crank this one up to 100. I've used this, but when there's that many of them and you only want one material stored, I found that using the plus is just as easy as anything. And now we just need to get these things done soon. Okay, let's come back and try to figure this out again. I need a better layout than what I have here. Not loving this, blocking myself in and creating issues. Might be best to look at the traffic jam that just happened. Not sure why there's a trains. Love my trains. They're so much fun. This is an issue. Stopping everyone here. I don't know how to deal with that when there's trains waiting, because it's obviously clear. Not sure why they'd think there was an issue. Oh, there they go. Interesting. At any rate, this is our starting town. I'm gonna hop back over here and see if I can figure out what needs to happen to get chemicals and plastics planned out and possibly built. Not this episode by any stretch. If I get it planned, I'll be happy. Right. So this is obviously not working if we want to get our rail to come in from somewhere around here and through. Yeah, that's not working at all. So let's give this another shot. I mean, as has been said a number of times, this is planning mode. Plan and you plan and you plan, and then you come up with something that you like and you can work with. So there you go. Okay, so if I build my drop off on this side and either run the rail around or pick up on the back side of the finished goods, that might be the best way, rather than trying to finagle and spend an hour trying to figure out how to lay it out perfectly. We can probably lay it out pretty good with the supply on this side and the finished materials up on this side. So gonna give that a shot. Let's see if I can come up with a better. I like those the storages that I was using. Again, we need the steel on, that was 700 tons if I'm not mistaken, on this side. If we can flip that around and get it going a direction we like. I'm gonna have to make sure I've got enough space. I realize I'm blocking off that rail, but I'm not really planning on using that. I'm gonna use rail cargo stations to pick up and drop off there. And if I get this stuff lined up reasonably well, distance-wise, I think we can get these edges, and by edges I mean these two edges, relatively close so that our rail can come in and drop off what we need. Again, I got to remind myself we need oil and we need chemicals, so we need another warehouse, open storage. Warehouse. If I was a warehouse, where would I be? Warehouse, right beside. There you go. And using the same Rob's one, we've got options for the oil coming in here, so that's not really an issue. And with the oil, we have plenty of, like I said, options and ways to get the oil where we need it. Obviously, we're going to have a storage of some kind. And we'll deal with that. I'm thinking there's a 300-ton mod that's quite good. That will, excuse me, will work out, I think, pretty well for us now. Not hating this, not loving it. I do like to have things lined up. It makes me a little crazy sometimes when I see things that aren't, and this looks like might be the best option. Oh, look at that. You know what? I'm just noticing something here now. I can take, well, no, because I need another warehouse for the finished goods, so don't even try. You already said that wasn't an option. Keep it that way. Okay. Let's try this. Hi, Future Cheap here again. Sorry for the graceful cut there, but I'm trying to keep these episodes somewhat under control time-wise, and this one was starting to drag on, and there was a couple interruptions, so I thought it best just to cut this one here. I'll have 2B up processed probably tomorrow, I'm hoping. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.